I'll tell you, this instantaneous communication and the tweeting and you know, cable TV and everything else, and you don't have to go on one of those shows to understand how long before you figure out what the object of the exercise is. It's, hey, let's you and him fight. And the nastier you can get, the better they like it, the more they promote it. But you know, I believe in the Marquess of Queensberry rules, and Jim used to be a fighter, a boxer, and understands that. But you know, to go back to work the next day and to sit down with that person who has just said the vilest things about you, your party, your family, your friends, nothing's off limits. It's a little difficult sometimes to sit down and say, so good to see you again. You know, it's kind of difficult when you go through an election process and people have an inordinate amount of money from God knows where to put negative ads down that there's no way I ever in my political year demeaned an opponent or another member of the House or Senate because I didn't like him. It's like this community. You're thrown in there with 535 people, and some of them you really like and respect. You want to be in their company, Democrats or Republicans. But let's face it, whether you're in high school or here or in the House, there's some people, take them or leave them. You don't like them for one reason or the other, that's fine.
I remember the time, Jim, that you asked me to substitute for you to go up to Boston to speak to the bankers in order to respond to Bob Dole, who was just before becoming a candidate, the Republican nominee for president. And in that room of bankers, Bob Dole got up and made his speech about how we should deregulate banking and repeal the Smoot-Hawley Act and turn America loose and let it be free to pursue its natural tendencies and so forth and so on. And I got up and responded about how we should have a national policy for development and how we should promote trade and various other subject matters, and I was probably the only one in the room who agreed with that. It was an unusual experience, and frankly, Jim, I didn't know what was happening at the time. And what was happening was that we were turning the bankers loose in America to gamble in the financial markets. And look what happened. Just look what happened. We haven't yet identified all of the fraud that was experienced during the period of time that followed that. That's a big subject and one that is deserving of a special consideration.